Before Elden Ring made difficulty mainstream, there was a PSP game that taught players what real struggle felt like. No checkpoints, no mercy, just pure skill. And its name was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Now, let's dive into the game. The mid-2000s marked a transformative period in the gaming industry, a time when technological ambition and creative experimentation converged to redefine what games could be. Home consoles such as the PlayStation 2 had already established a golden standard for immersive single-player experiences, while newer systems like the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 began pushing the boundaries of graphical fidelity and online connectivity. Yet, amid this rapid evolution of home gaming, handheld systems were undergoing a quieter but equally significant revolution. The PlayStation Portable, PSP, emerged not merely as a portable device, but as a bold statement that deep, console-quality gaming experiences could exist in the palm of one's hand. Capcom's strategic shift. It was within this context that Capcom made one of its most consequential strategic decisions. Known primarily for tightly designed, narrative-driven action franchises such as Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, Capcom began exploring a fundamentally different design philosophy. Instead of guiding players through linear levels or cinematic storytelling, the company sought to create a system-driven experience centered on mastery, repetition, and emergent gameplay. This ambition gave rise to the Monster Hunter series, beginning with Monster Hunter, which introduced a loop that would eventually redefine action role-playing games. Hunt, gather, craft, and repeat. The evolution of the Monster Hunter formula. While early entries laid the groundwork, it was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite that fully realized this vision. Released on the PSP, the game refined and expanded upon its predecessors, Monster Hunter Freedom and Monster Hunter Freedom 2, to create an experience that was both brutally demanding and deeply rewarding. Unlike conventional role-playing games such as Final Fantasy X, where progression is often tied to character levels and scripted encounters, or action spectacles like God of War, Freedom Unite rejected these paradigms. Instead, it placed the burden of growth entirely on the player. A story written by the player. The narrative structure of the game reflects this philosophy. Rather than presenting a predefined storyline with dramatic arcs and character development, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite situates the player as a hunter in a remote village, tasked with maintaining ecological balance by hunting dangerous creatures. There is no chosen hero narrative, no overarching destiny. The story unfolds organically through the player's actions, as small, seemingly mundane tasks gradually escalate into encounters with formidable monsters such as Tigrex, Nargacuga, and rat halos. Each of these creatures is not merely an obstacle, but a dynamic entity with unique behaviors, attack patterns, and environmental interactions. In this sense, the story of Freedom Unite is not told through cutscenes, but through struggle, failure, and eventual mastery. Why was it so hard? One of the most defining aspects of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is its difficulty. By modern standards, the game can feel unforgiving, even punishing. The hitbox system, for instance, often appears imprecise, with attacks connecting in ways that defy visual logic. Players may find themselves struck despite seemingly safe positioning, a frustration that forces them to develop a deeper understanding of spacing and timing. Combat itself is deliberately slow and methodical. Each weapon carries a sense of weight, and every action demands commitment. Unlike contemporary action games that encourage rapid inputs and fluid movement, Freedom Unite penalizes recklessness, rewarding instead those who exercise patience and precision. Additionally, the grind plays a crucial role. Progression is tied to repeatedly hunting monsters for materials, sometimes requiring multiple attempts to obtain rare drops. This repetition, while demanding, reinforces the game's core loop and sense of achievement. Why was it so addictive? Paradoxically, it is precisely these demanding elements that contribute to the game's addictive nature. The absence of shortcuts ensures that every achievement is earned, creating a powerful sense of satisfaction. The gameplay loop, hunting, crafting, and refining strategies, establishes a rhythm that is both engaging and rewarding. Over time, players develop not only better equipment, but also a deeper understanding of the game's systems. This progression, rooted in personal skill rather than numerical advancement, fosters a unique form of engagement that many modern games struggle to replicate. Each successful hunt feels like a milestone, transforming frustration into motivation. The multiplayer culture ad hoc era. Another critical aspect of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite lies in its multiplayer design. At a time when online connectivity was still evolving, the game relied primarily on ad hoc multiplayer, requiring players to be physically close to one another. This limitation, rather than detracting from the experience, enhanced it. Multiplayer sessions became social events, with players gathering in shared spaces to coordinate hunts and share strategies. Communication was immediate and personal, fostering a sense of camaraderie that extended beyond the game itself. In contrast to the anonymity of contemporary online multiplayer, this localized approach created a more intimate and memorable experience. Game design philosophy, skill over systems. One of the most important yet often overlooked aspects of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is its underlying design philosophy. Unlike many modern games that rely heavily on progression systems, tutorials, and assist mechanics, this game prioritizes player skill above all else. There are no objective markers guiding your every move, no simplified mechanics to ease you into success. Instead, the game expects you to observe, learn, and adapt. Every monster becomes a lesson, every failure a step toward mastery. This approach creates a deeper connection between the player and the game, where improvement feels personal rather than system-driven. The role of atmosphere and isolation. Another defining feature of the game is its atmosphere. Playing on the PlayStation Portable, often alone with headphones, creates a sense of isolation that enhances the experience. The environments feel vast and alive, yet indifferent to the player's presence. There is no constant background music pushing emotion, no cinematic interruptions breaking immersion. Instead, the world feels raw and grounded. The sound of footsteps, the distant roar of a monster, and the tension before a hunt all contribute to a unique sense of immersion that is rarely replicated in modern titles. Weapon variety and playstyle depth. Another reason behind the game's lasting appeal is the depth of its weapon system. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite offers a wide variety of weapon classes, each with its own mechanics, timing, and learning curve. From the slow but devastating greatsword to the agile dual blades, every weapon fundamentally changes how the game is played. This diversity encourages experimentation and personal expression. Players are not only improving their gear but also discovering which playstyle suits them best. Mastering a weapon can take dozens of hours, and this layered complexity significantly extends the game's lifespan. The sense of achievement and player identity. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is the identity it builds around the player. Progress is visible, not through levels or numbers, but through armor sets, weapons, and accomplishments. When a player equips a rare armor set, it tells a story of the monsters defeated, the time invested, and the challenges overcome. This creates a strong emotional connection to progression. Achievements are not handed out easily. They are earned through persistence. As a result, every player's journey feels unique, reinforcing a sense of pride that few modern systems can replicate. Legacy and influence on modern gaming. The influence of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite extends far beyond its original release. Its core gameplay loop and emphasis on mastery have shaped not only future entries like Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, but also inspired elements seen in modern action RPGs. The idea that difficulty can enhance satisfaction, that repetition can build engagement, and that multiplayer can create lasting social experiences has become more widely accepted. Even today, many games attempt to recreate this balance, yet few achieve the same level of depth and authenticity. Does it still hold up today? The question of whether Monster Hunter Freedom Unite remains relevant today is complex. On one hand, its depth, challenge, and rewarding progression system continue to stand out. Its influence can be seen in modern entries such as Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise, which have expanded the formula with improved accessibility and quality of life features. On the other hand, certain aspects of Freedom Unite have aged. The control scheme can feel cumbersome, the camera system restrictive, and the lack of modern conveniences may frustrate new players. Nevertheless, For those willing to embrace its challenges, the game offers a uniquely rewarding experience that remains difficult to replicate. Final thoughts. In conclusion, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite is more than just a game. It is a defining experience of its era. It represents a time when games demanded patience, skill, and dedication, offering in return a profound sense of accomplishment. Its design philosophy, centered on mastery and persistence, stands in contrast to many modern titles that prioritize accessibility and immediacy. For veteran players, it remains a nostalgic masterpiece. For newcomers, it serves as a window into a different era of game design, one that valued challenge as a pathway to satisfaction. If you enjoyed this and want more deep dives like this, be sure to subscribe to Retro Game Stories. Every week, we revisit the games that shaped an entire generation and explore why they still matter today. And your opinion matters too. Drop a comment and tell me your experience with this game or which game you'd like to see next.